All right, students, hello, and welcome back to MSOE for your fall term. I recognize a lot of names out there, so that's exciting. For those of you that haven't had me in class in the past, my name is Dr. Hart, and I will be your mentor, so to say, for your senior design experience. Senior design, even in normal times, is a bit of a unique class in that you're not really in the classroom for lecture as normal. You're kind of doing a senior design project with a group and an advisor. But it's even more complicated in the current state of affairs. And so today, what we're going to do is we'll talk about the class itself, maybe go over the syllabus, and we'll also have a short lecture from Julie Way, who is the Director of Career Services, to hopefully help you out along your way as you're transitioning from becoming seniors to becoming full force members of the workforce. All right. So a couple things first, ME490 will have a seminar series. Hold on just a second. I got to make sure that we get Julie in here.
Hi, Kevin.
Okay, you're here. Great.
I'm on time, right?
Okay,
I'm on
yeah.
time. Okay.
Looks great.
All right. Let me share my desktop with you. I'm pretty much the technological idiot of the universe, and so let me.
So we're going to have about 10 minutes of class overview before we get into the career services discussion, but looks like what you got there is great. I can see your desktop. When comes time for you to discuss, it looks like you got everything squared away.
And then if you'll introduce me verbally, and then I'll just say hello to everybody. Nobody needs to see my ugly mug, and I will tell them to pretend I look like Jennifer Aniston. How's that? Perfect.
Okay, I will do that. Give me about 10 minutes and then we'll bring you in. Thank you.
All right. And does it look like it? Let me see. Wait, let me just get this. I want it to be the slideshow version. Better?
Yep, looks great. I'm going to actually take over for a little bit and go through the syllabus, but when we come back to you, you can bring this in and we'll have discussion.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Okay, so ME490 in normal times is a little bit unique in that it's a senior design program. You're not in the traditional classroom. You're doing a design project with a mentor. So I think it'd be useful for us to go over the syllabus, and the syllabus is something I sent out last week. You should have seen that and have access to that. I've also posted the syllabus in the Microsoft Teams team for ME490, which is the senior design class. So it's available there for you if you want to take a look and follow along with me. Okay. Otherwise, I'm going to share my screen again, and hopefully we can all see the syllabus here now and follow along with it. I'll try to give sort of an overview of the class and talk about what my role is as the coordinator, and also what your role is as the student and your advisor's role, who is generally different from me. It's fair for a few of you who I am advising. All right, so I am the senior design coordinator. That means I sort of run all the programs, but ultimately it's going to be up to your individual advisors who run your individual projects to give you a grade for the class. I will run this senior design seminar series. So you'll see me every Tuesday running this series online. But in terms of your weekly meetings with your groups and your advisors, that's going to be handled individually with your own groups and your own advisors. So here's my contact information. I'm the senior design coordinator. My office is in S229. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to have individual meetings in that office, but if you come knock on my door, maybe I can come out and we'll have a conversation in the hallway if you have a quick question. I will be available on Microsoft Teams for you if you'd like to discuss anything with me about senior design from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. every single day, virtually on Teams. Just send me a chat message and we can talk. All right. So this course, like I said, is a little bit different than most that you've gone through. And this is sort of a culmination of your ME design and ME experience, and that you're going to be working on some project with a group of people that takes all of those skills in terms of analytics and writing and communication and planning and building and all the things that makes a great ME engineer and do something awesome. All right. So it's going to vary project to project what exactly you're going to be doing, but generally we hope after this program you're going to be able to write a nice proposal to do a design project, then work through that design project over the next 30 weeks or so. All right? So, prerequisites, you should all be senior standing, and you should all have completed 2 of the 3 mechanical engineering curriculum tracks, either the mechanics, the energy, or the controls and dynamics. Hopefully you've gotten all 3. All right? So how this is going to work is you're going to be organized into groups. Hopefully you know what your group is already and who your advisor is already. If not, you can go to my.msoe and look under your student tab to look at your schedule and see who your actual individual advisor is and go from there. Early in the term, you as a group will decide whether you're going to have a 3-quarter or a 2-quarter project. Most projects are 3 quarters, and that you're kind of have to do it kind of throughout the whole year. And so you'll sign up for ME490 this quarter, ME491 in the winter, and if you have a 3rd quarter, you'll sign up for ME492 in spring. So that will give you a whole year to work on the project. If you do ME492, that will count for a technical elective. So if you're looking at your sort of flow chart for the ME curriculum, 492 will count as a technical elective. All right. You're going to have to establish a regular meeting time with your advisor on a week-to-week basis. That's kind of a requirement for the course, is that you meet with them regularly so that they can evaluate you and make sure that your group is staying on task. As far as I'm concerned, the only real portion of the grade I'm going to allot you for is the grade associated with making sure that you're attending these Tuesday seminars. These seminars are going to be important because we're going to go over things like how to use codes and standards, how to formulate an effective design, how to make a schedule. And later on in the quarter, hopefully you think these seminars are a little bit more exciting, because I'm going to bring in some guest speakers from all around the country to talk about a variety of things, including I have a friend who's got a PhD in mechanical engineering who works for GM, so the vehicle manufacturing, and he works in their R&D lab, which is pretty cool. And also a friend of mine who runs a design firm in Madison and done so for about 15 years. So hopefully there'll be some insight there that might help you make a career decision about what you want to do in the future, and kind of see some different perspectives from people outside in the world and maybe what's important to them. So I hope you attend the seminar series. I think it'll be very entertaining and very interesting, to say the least. I'll try to crack some jokes here and there. Now, the groups are going to be different, and the required deliverables are going to be different from group to group, but I'll say that there are some certain things that every single group must do. And that's what we're going to overview here quickly in this portion of the syllabus, is that for 490, there are some deliverables that are absolutely due regardless of which group that you're in. First is you have some weekly project reports, which will be due to your individual advisors. How this proceeds will be at the discretion of your advisor. I would generally say that maybe a couple PowerPoint slides detailing this is what we did last week, this is what we plan to do this week, is probably sufficient, though it's kind of at the discretion of your individual advisors. All right. Your problem statement, this will be due in week number 3, and I will send out some example problem statements, which I think are good and bad. But generally, the problem statement is a very succinct, maybe 1 or 2 sentences that says, this is a problem that exists in the world. You don't necessarily have to talk about what your solution is going to be. It's just, this is the problem we hope to tackle over the next 30 weeks in our senior design program. Then after that, you're going to go through the conceptual design phase, which will mostly be monitored by your advisor. So this is where a majority of the chunk of your grade is going to happen for this class, as you will be conceptualizing, working with your team, working with your advisors on your project, and coming up with a conceptual solution through SolidWorks modeling or analytical modeling or mathematical formulations or budgets or all of the things that go into like a nice design. Then at the end of the quarter, you'll have due to me your design proposal report, which is going to be a report detailing what the problem is, what your proposed design solution is, and this is kind of a proposal for maybe what you'll work on the next quarter or 2 quarters, depending on your particular situation. So there's a little bit more gory detail here in the syllabus regarding those pieces of information that you might want to dive in. But for now, I just want to give the general highlights. Like I said about your grading, it's mostly at the discretion of your individual advisors. And I'm just kind of here along the way, making sure that you're checking all of the boxes that need to be done. Did you submit your problem statement? Did you submit your final proposal? Did you come to the seminars? Those sorts of things. That's what I really care about as the coordinator. But your individual advisors will assess the rest of your grade, right? One thing I want to make clear about your individual advisors, and they should really not be giving direct input on the design of your project. They're there to sort of assist you on the way and help you point you in various directions for various resources, but they should not be advising you on how to pursue the design. They shouldn't say you should use this ball and socket joint, or this clevis pin is the correct decision, or so on and so forth. They might be able to tell you, hey, go to the mechanical engineering handbook and look up clevis pins in this particular area to help you pick out which one is the best for this particular specification. That might be something that is suitable, but they can't just tell you this is the one you need to use, this is the one you need to use. That's up to you. You need to be an adult engineer and make those decisions on your own, okay? So advisors out there, if you're listening, please try to be hands-off in those particular situations. Now, one thing that makes this particular quarter and maybe this upcoming year a little bit unique is the COVID situation. Obviously, a lot of what we're doing now is online, and many of you have reserved to doing your entire education online, as the case may be, which is fine. I would say that as far as your designs go, how the project proceeds is up to the individual advisor and the groups themselves. So I'm going to be relatively hands-off in the decision process here. All I would say is that you need to adhere to the rules of the university, meaning wear a mask when you're inside, wear masks when you're in close proximity working with each other, maintain distance as much as you can. And I would say that if you're going on a site visit for one of these companies potentially in the future, make sure that, again, you're wearing a mask, you're adhering to the distance rules. And if you happen to go to a site visit where maybe some of the people are a little bit relaxed, I would ask that you encourage them to wear masks, maintain distance, etc. Okay, so please just try to be safe, try to keep everybody in our MSOE community as safe as you possibly can. Okay, so last thing I want to say is in the syllabus is the seminar schedule. And so we have a variety of seminars, as I mentioned. Today's the course overview and a little bit about career services from Julie. And then the remaining seminars are going to be sort of informational about how to form a design, how to use codes and standards, how to do literature searches, intellectual property, so on and so forth. So hopefully you're just kind of like building up a couple more tools in your tool bag for engineering design as you go. Okay, so I think we'll pause here. If anybody has any questions about the syllabus, now would be the time to ask a question, and please do so in the chat before we proceed. Dr. Hart has a sweet flag. Thank you, Alex. That is very nice. It's the Milwaukee flag. The new Milwaukee flag. The old one, oh, terrible. Okay, well, if there's no questions, I think we'll introduce our guest speaker for today. So our guest speaker today is Ms. Julie Way. She is the Director of Career Services at MSOE, and because you're all seniors transitioning into full-blown engineering adults, I think this is a nice time for her to come in and talk to you about potential career options and how the MSOE Career Services can help you on your way. So Julie, if we're ready, we'll call you back in and you can sort of take over as you see fit. Make sure to unmute yourself there, Julie.
Unmute myself, which seems to be the MS Teams problem of the year. So I am now unmuted, and I'll put this on slideshow. So thank you very, very much for having me. I'm very happy to be here because I'm very happy to help MSOE students accomplish their professional goals. It's hard to think about right now, especially when you're just starting your senior design, but ultimately, starting your career development to obtain a really valuable return on investment for all what I call the blood, sweat, tears, and tuition dollars that you put into earning this fantastic degree is it's important to start early. And the cool part about that is that you have an office full of professionals who are willing to help you every step of the way. While I was listening to your preliminary Dr. Hart talk about the syllabus and all the things that you'll be doing. He said you'll be using some big skills to do something awesome, and I want to tell you that employers are extremely interested in knowing about the awesome stuff that you're doing. And one of the reasons why our students are in such demand is because of the demand and rigor and awesomeness, technology-wise, of these senior designs. However, a lot of students have a hard time. You guys may have challenges along the way, but you do great work, fantastic technical work. But one of the biggest challenges is articulating what you've done, how you've acted like an engineer on your resume. And so he talked about problem statement and project objective. And I know that our career fair is coming up at the end of the month and that you won't be super deep into your senior design. However, it sounds like you're going to be at least problem statement deep and project objective deep. And those things should definitely be added to your resume so that your potential employer knows what kind of engineering work and problem solving that you're going to do. But let me continue to go along with my PowerPoint here, how career services can help you. Again, you don't.
I don't mean to interrupt here, Julie, but if you're meaning to share a PowerPoint, I don't have it visible. I don't know if the students do or not, but you might need to just reshare your screen if you can.
Okay, I don't know.
So there's a button in the upper right-hand corner of the meeting window that says Share Content. Looks like a computer screen with an arrow coming into it.
Yeah, and I'm clicking on it, and it's not there. Maybe. How about now?
So if you click on it, there should be sort of additional information that comes up on the bottom of the screen on which screen it wants you to share.
Nope, not happening.
Let's try this. All right. So I've now shared my screen. Can you see my screen?
No, I can see you, and I think you can see me now.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can see you.
I found the little icon that open share tray. Can I do this?
Can you send your oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know what I've been done this successfully before, and I'm sorry.
Can we try one more time pressing the share content button? I think we just had it there for a split second.
It says open share tray.
How about can you send the presentation to me and I can share it on my screen and you can talk through it?
Unfortunately, you're going to have to.
I can advance it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just do it the old way. Slide.
All right.
Slide.
So are you sharing your screen with me?
I am not currently. But
right. I think is that the functionality that has to happen so that I.
Okay. I think we've got it up there now. Yeah.
Okay.
I see it now.
Yeah, I think I did that right from the start, but
yeah. Okay, looks good. We got it. Looks great.
Okay, did I just advance it?
Yes, you did. We're off to the races.
All right, I'm not sure why this is what it looked like before you said there was a problem. So anyway, I will tell you guys that I can't do the engineering, but I can talk about it and write about it. So let me help you do that part. We definitely invite you to come in. We are in CC 370 in the same spot. Some of you may have come to visit us. We are now way behind the new kitchen area, which is very cool, but we're at the end of a row now. So it's a little bit of a travel, a path to get to us, but we hope that you'll come and visit us. We are hoping to have a new website online very soon. The biggest thing that I can tell you as well is open our emails. We send you emails with lots of information, especially about the upcoming career fair. And because it's so different, there's lots of nuances, and we really want you to be informed. So please open your emails. We send them at least every Saturday evening or Sunday evening, I beg your pardon, Sunday evening if not more frequently than that. Most students come to us to help with their resume first, and we're thrilled with that. And then I get to tell you there's a few other spots that you need to work on, and specifically your interview skills, because ultimately will be the interview that will clinch your offer. And so interview skills are incredibly important. I've had a number of students tell me, oh, I can talk to anybody. And I will tell you that there's nobody more capable of talking to anybody than me. But if somebody said that they wanted to interview me for a job right now, I would not feel prepared. And people will say, oh, but an interview is supposed to be just a conversation. It's supposed to be conversational, not just a conversation. These people are looking for specific information that tells them that you're right for the job. So yes, they want it to be a pleasant situation and they want it to be conversational, but they're going to ask you specific things. And we can help you know what possibly is coming up and or how to answer those jobs. There's a strategy to everything, and there's definitely a strategy for interviewing. We can help you with your job search. Certainly the career fair, it doesn't get too much easier than that. However, having a really robust handshake profile is another way. A robust LinkedIn profile is another way to actually be found. There will be companies, certainly when this economy recovers, who are just plain old looking for you. And I would always make sure that I'm being found, and I would always make sure that I am making a great first impression. There's your electronic first impression. They don't get to meet you in person, so that you want to make sure that that's a really effective and strong presence online. Offer evaluation. Just helped a young man this morning with an offer evaluation. It's awkward. It's kind of difficult sometimes. You don't know what you should ask for, if you should ask for anything. I can help you with knowing if you're. It turned out that this offer was fair, and the proof, the evidence that I had confirmed that with this student. He felt a whole lot better about it. But we found another couple things that could be evaluated. The other thing that happens in the good old days when COVID was gone was that lots of students have a number of offers, or a number of what we call, old people call, irons in the fire. And so you're interviewing with one company, another company makes you an offer, and another company says, let's interview next week. How do you manage all of those opportunities? And there's definitely a professional way to manage that, to ask for extensions. And we've done that, and we can help you with that as well. Graduate school applications. Some of you may consider going on to grad school, and we can help you with those application documents. It will definitely be the documents that the personal statement that comes through that looks like some effort has been put into it, and it wasn't just thrown on paper the night before. Admissions committees tell me all the time they can tell the difference. I don't know how, but they do. Well, I do know how. You can tell when a personal statement is done well and there's been some thought put into it. So let us help you do that.
I want to pop in here just 1 second and say that we are going to have a discussion about graduate school in week number 4 and kind of the process and how you go through that, what you should expect, and those sorts of things. So I'll again reference Julie when we talk about that in week 4. Okay. You
bet. Absolutely. And it's not hard. It's really all about you, but it's using a genuine voice and talking about what you want to do and what you like to do and what your intention is and why you want to continue your education with a specific program. 24/7 online resources. We do have a website right now. It's not as robust as we'd like it to be. So we've actually purchased a new software platform, and we're working with them right now to launch that as soon as we possibly can, and it'll have a number of resources. However, stop in. We're in the student center. Everybody has to come to the student center to eat at one point, I think, or most everybody, and we'll give you all kinds of resources there. We have drop-in hours. You don't have to make an appointment. If you're here and you finish your sandwich a little early and you want to come in and have some questions answered or find out how to get started or have your resume looked at, et cetera, make sure you're checking handshake events for weekly updated hours. And we definitely want you to we're trying to make sure that we're here from about 10 until 2 every day, including the lunch hour. That's my shift, among others. But we want to make sure we're consistent. But in case something happens, we don't want you to come all the way over here and somebody not be here for you. One-on-one help, I can't encourage you more to make an appointment with a career coach. Your own coaching appointment is 30 minutes, and you can talk about anything you'd like to talk about, and or come in and say, I don't know what to do first, and somebody will help you with that, and we'll get you started. So appointments are really valuable. We do have a peer coaching program, meet with fellow MSOE peer coaches for your help on your resume, your handshake profile, different things. They go through training. We're about to start their training. You're welcome to come back and meet with them and check with Handshake for a weekly schedule. They'll be added to that as well. So we're trying to have as many people here as possible to help you so that you don't have to wait, or my schedule fills up pretty fast. We want to make sure that you're helped as soon as possible. And of course, if you're like most students on every campus across the country, you will wait till as close to the last minute to do things as you possibly can. And so, yeah. And so I want to encourage you not to do that. You know, I want to, again, back to the senior design. This is an incredibly important portion of your education, and it should be articulated really, really effectively and strongly on your resume. And I want you to come in early and talk about how that can be done. And then I'm happy to work with you all the way through. But from what I can tell, before this career fair, you're already going to have two components that are pretty important. So at least your audience, who is a hiring manager, will get an idea in their head about what you're going to be working on for a year. And so make sure that senior design, I don't care where you are in the stage, but make sure that it's on your resume. So handshake, not enough of our students use it. It's never, I just joined last July, joined MSOE last July, and it's never been a really big thing on campus, and I want to make it a bigger thing on campus. This is a software platform that is completely focused on students, on entry level and internships, and companies are using it for that reason. So they're really posting. So you might have been on Indeed.com before. Indeed's a great resource, except that all of these jobs are going to say 2 to 5 years of experience, 1 to 3 years of experience, 5 to 10 years of experience. And I don't know about you, but I've done some pretty sophisticated searches with keywords, and they're still coming up with all of these jobs that don't even fall into my search category. And so I've got to shuffle through those, or they're repeated over and over again. Handshake is really powerful. It's going to connect you with thousands of internships and full-time jobs. The other thing that we do is we scour Handshake for you, and we send you an email every Friday telling you how many internships and full-time jobs are available to you within 30 miles of Milwaukee. And of course, if you don't want to work within 30 miles of Milwaukee, then you can certainly go on and do your own search. But we're trying to work for you and get your attention and tell you that this is a place where there's opportunity. This is where you would schedule an appointment with a career coach. This is where you would see drop-in hours. You will see companies who are registered for the career fair. Some of you were here, well, all of you were here on campus last fall, and may have attended our unbelievably large, huge career fair in the fall with 338 employers. At no fault of anybody's, including our companies, we're at about 160, 170. So it's not going to be anywhere near the size that it was in the fall, simply because of the Rona. But what you want to do is make sure you participate in this. Somebody made a point to me that you'll be scheduling 10-minute appointments, and 10 minutes. Even if you schedule 6 of those, that's just 1 hour of your day, and you've created a relationship with 6 different companies and possibly with some opportunities. So put it in a little perspective that way. You can do this at home. You don't have to bring your suit to campus then. You don't have to wear it to campus. Take a look at your schedule and make sure you're involved. Learn when employers are on campus to meet you. At one point, we're going to be the rock star university of the nation and have very few COVID problems. And we're going to start being able to open our doors to employers because they want to come to meet you. I'll tell you about an event coming up where we will host employers on campus so that you can meet them. Find events that we put on that will help you become a high potential candidate, a high PO. That's what it's called in the recruiting industry. And especially now that the competition is a little fiercer for the jobs. At one point, like last year, there were not enough engineers to go around for all the job opportunities. It's not that way anymore. You need to become a high potential candidate. You need to be pulled out of piles and piles of resumes, and you need to distinguish yourself in an interview so that you are chosen for the offer. Our virtual career fair. We've chosen Career Fair Plus. Many of you probably have Career Fair Plus app on your phone. They mobilized very immediately, and instead of an additional help or resource to a career fair, they are now the career fair software. And so we need you to download that resume or that app and upload your resume to it, create a profile, and schedule some meetings. And I want you to know that on the 15th of September, you can schedule meetings with employers. And if I were you, I'd be on it at 8 o'clock in the morning on the 15th. We've heard from other schools that students are jumping on it really fast. So if there are companies that you want to speak to, you want to make sure you get on those schedules. I want to tell you that I do not want you to get on a schedule that you plan on reneging just to get on the schedule. I want you to make sure that you're prepared. You know what our schedule is. You'll see posters all over campus. We'll send you emails. Here it is right here, Wednesday, September 30th, Thursday, October 1st. Make sure that you have some space in these times that you can attend and that you're ready to meet those companies. If for some reason, I'm going to use Milwaukee Tool because they are one of the most prolific recruiters on our campus, their schedules will fill immediately. If there's some reason that you are unable to schedule with them, we are also going to send you the ability to get put on a wait list, and we'll send that to Milwaukee Tool so that you can schedule with them at another time. Not sure what that availability is. They'd much rather have you see them when they have all their representatives available at this career fair. Of course, none of you are freshmen, so we will continue to move along. Log into your Handshake account to see who's coming. During the fair, you'll meet one-on-one. We chose this platform because we wanted it to mimic the real traditional in-person event and experience as we could. There weren't a whole lot out there that weren't doing a whole lot of different things, but this one was pretty focused on that one-on-one meeting with an employer. Employers want this. They wanted us to use this. They don't want to meet you in a chat room. They don't want to meet you in a big room. They want to meet you one-on-one, just like they do at a traditional fair. The only thing that's going to be different about this fair than another fair in preparation is to make sure that you don't have a messy bed in your camera behind you. That there's a good background, that you look good on your video. You can test that out. Please try to make sure there's no barking dogs. We're hiring some folks here, and we've done some interviews, and there were sisters and brothers running in behind. You want to try to avoid that as much as you possibly can. But other than that, and I'm going to send a whole bunch of resources to Dr. Hart so he can possibly put it on Canvas or pass them along. Preparing for the career fair is pretty much the same. So you want to make sure that you're ready to introduce yourself. You don't want to have to make an employer ask you questions about yourself. You want to give them your 30-second introduction. They're going to be able to see your resume. So you want to talk about things that may not be necessarily, or at least mention one thing that's not necessarily on your resume. And so make sure that you're well prepared for the career fair. I can't tell you, you're ready to go. What did you call that? An adult engineer? I can't remember what you called it, Dr. Hart, but but these companies are looking for students who are professional, and professionalism means that you're prepared. And so try to spend some time, as much as you can, even though all of your professors are going to inundate you with homework, and assignments and tests, but try to spend some time preparing for this as much as you possibly can. So download the Career Fair Plus app, Google Play, App Store, create your account and profile, and you'll be able to start scheduling company visits on September 15th. September 15th, don't forget that date. Please watch your email for more information on how to successfully participate, and I'll send it to Dr. Hart as well. Career Fair prep events. I don't know how many of you have ever participated in a resume raid or a mock interview. Cannot encourage that enough. If you are unable to make it into career services to get help with your resume, please try to see these employers. They're happy to meet with you. It is a very brief 10 to 15 minute dot this I, cross this T kind of thing. So you'll get more in depth with us. And I'm going to tell you that employers will give you some hints, and then you'll go to the next table, to the next employer, et cetera, and they'll all have a different opinion, but you get to decide what you like best and formulate your resume from that. Mock interviews. I will tell you also that a resume raid is a chance to meet an employer who may look at your resume and say, hey, I'd like to move forward with you. That doesn't happen every single time, but it's definitely a way to be recognized as a high potential candidate. And the same thing with mock interviews. In fact, in my career, I've seen mock interviews become the real interview, and things move forward very quickly from that. Any kind of preparation that you can do, any kind of employer face-to-face networking that you can do is a huge plus. So make sure that you are watching for announcements on that. We're going to be on the campus center, 3rd floor, over by our office, doing the resume raid and mock interviews at the same time. And these employers are really generous to donate their time, which they really don't have. But you're so important to them, and helping you and interacting with you is so important to them that they take the time out of their busy day to travel to campus and come and help you. Please utilize it, because I can't, if students don't utilize it, I can't invite them anymore, because I feel guilty about making them come all the way to campus when they don't see enough students. And that's kind of been the way it has been this last year. And however, these are brand new programs. I want to continue them. I want you to utilize this opportunity. It's super convenient for you. They're coming to you, campus center, not too far to go. Please utilize it. So our mission, and when I first got here, I really want you to have a job by Christmas time, if not earlier. I want you to have a job offer signed, sealed, delivered by Christmas time. And I will tell you that there has not been a lot of awareness on our campus that fall is really strategic recruiting time for these companies. There's so many students who think, well, I don't have to start looking for a job until, again, graduation time. That's too late. Milwaukee Tool will not be back in our winter career fair. We hosted our very first winter career fair because there's always opportunity, but there will be companies who will not be at those career fairs because their strategy is to have everybody hired before November, December. And so you don't want to miss out on those opportunities. You definitely want to make sure you understand and are aware that strategic recruiting is anywhere from the middle of August to the middle of October. So you want to be prepared for that, and you want to start looking for your job early, and Career Services is here to help you. I want MSOE students to have 6 offers and not crossing their fingers for 1. I want you to have so much opportunity that you're in my office, and I've had students from my last school in my office in tears saying, I've got so many offers, I don't know what to do. I love them all. I don't know which one is the right one for me. Can you help me evaluate them? Or I've got an offer from this company for $5,000 more, but I really like company A. Can I utilize that offer to get maybe an increase in my salary offer from company A? And the answer is heck yeah. My record is 15 grand with a guy named Andy from Michigan Tech. And I'll tell you what, that was a really interesting back and forth between Reich and Ford, I think, and Ford won. So, but the kid got 15 grand more than his initial offer. He was a candidate of choice. This was happening in September, not further down the road. So, and the other thing about having so many offers is you get to choose which company, you get to choose maybe which role, you get to choose where you live, where you work. Choice, there's no better freedom than choice. And so I don't want you to hope for one job offer. I want you to get 6 and or more, and have some great choices. And I am convinced. At this point, unfortunately, at this point, I'm not sure that's possible with our economy at this point. But when I first got here, and of course, the demand for MSOE students is so great that that's definitely doable.
Yeah,
so I
think
still think it. I beg your pardon?
I said I think it will come back.
It's going to come back.
Companies are recognizing that there's going to be a lot of virtual working going forward, and younger engineers tend to be more versed in technology, and I think that's generally a positive thing for young engineers as well.
The last economic downfall was back in 2008, 2009, and engineering and IT hiring came back very, very quickly, much faster than any other field. And so it will definitely come back, and I'm not sure that 6 opportunities is impossible. It depends on what kind of effort you're putting in. Make sure that you are being progressive and proactive. I will tell you that if there's a company who comes in and asks me they're looking for some senior mechanical engineering talent at MSOE, I can't connect you unless I know you. And so make sure that you're coming in, introducing yourself, telling us what you want and who you'd like to work for. And maybe there's some of you sitting at home at this point and don't want to work for any of the companies who are coming to the career fair because you want to move to Colorado or Oregon or California or Texas, where I just came from. And so I will tell you that I am happy to reach out to those companies and tell them that I've got an MSOE mechanical engineering senior who wants to work for them, and they will be doing cartwheels down the hallway that they don't have to come looking for you. And so make sure that you let me know if there are specific companies that you are interested in that are outside of our normal traditional recruiting companies, who are all fantastic. But if that's you, that's what I call a targeted job search, and happy to help you with that as well.
Great.
So,
okay,
gotta go.
Yeah, I want to make sure we get some questions in here. We've had some questions in the chat. I just want to get them in here quick before we call it, and I want to make sure we get out with enough time for people to make their 3 o'clock. So, one of our students asks, can career services assist alumni after graduation that might be struggling to enter the workforce in their discipline? Right. So if they graduate and by midsummer, end of summer after they graduate, they're still looking, are you still available to help them?
Absolutely. I'm helping. In fact, our alumni visitation to career services is pretty high with our most recent graduates who were really in a tough spot. We'll be here. I've also helped graduates who want to do a 180 pivot, who want to do a career change, who want to actually even ask for a raise or a promotion. You need to propose that. You need to update your resume so that you can or move to a different functional area in a company. We're always here to help you at any time, all the way throughout your career. Somebody said all the way throughout your life. I really don't want to talk to you after you retired. So, so I think I'm going to say throughout your career.
Unless you're willing to donate to the career services.
Yeah, there you go. So happy to help you. But I really want to help you while you're here so that you are in a great position when you graduate. There's nothing better than walking across that stage, getting your degree with a job in your pocket. Nothing better. And so let me help you do that.
Sure. I see we got one more question. I think we're a little short on time. I want to make sure I give people enough time to get to their next class, whether it's in person or online. Dee, if you want to have a conversation with career services in a little bit more detail, maybe that might be appropriate. Julie, thank you so much for doing this. Even I personally learned a lot about this. I didn't even know about the, Career Fair Plus app and the virtual interviews. And, September 15th, you guys are scheduling interviews. I think that's great information for the students. We're going to have another seminar next Tuesday, and I'll remind them of the September 15th date so that they can sign up with companies if they want to do that. We always got to
Wonderful.
make sure that we get the companies coming back recruiting you guys as well. So I think there's a little give and take on both sides.
Yeah, it has to come from both sides. This has to be a synergy, and we need students participating. Okay, thanks for having me.
Great. Yeah, thank you so much for coming. And that will conclude the seminar for today. One last announcement I have for the students is your job this week is to come up with a time with your advisor to meet and meet with them as soon as you can to start discussing the specifics about your projects. So when are you going to meet? How are you going to meet? What is the scope of your project? Start thinking about your problem statement, those sorts of things. That's your sort of homework, quote unquote, for this week. We'll meet again here 1 week from now, which is September 15th at 2 o'clock, and we're going to talk about the design process. We'll have a Dr. Slaybach giving that particular lecture. So that's it for today. Thanks for coming, guys, and hope to see you around campus. Bye-bye.